So maybe their skin doesn't sparkle anymore, and they seem to have lost their yellow eyes. But a lot of time has passed since we last saw the cast of Twilight in full vampire mode. Here's what they look like today and what they've been up to since hanging up their fangs. Once upon a time, Kristen Stewart was absolutely despised by critics, with people clamoring to declare she was little more than a one-dimensional actress, all thanks to the Twilight saga. As it turns out, the Twilight star is having the last laugh since she hasn't stopped working since the franchise came to a close. Riding the coattails of her success as Bella Swan, Stewart went on to star as Snow White in 2012's Snow White and the Huntsman. Her personal life then took a hit when she was caught cheating on Robert Pattinson with the director of Snow White and the Huntsman, Rupert Sanders. In a move that shattered the hearts of Twilight fans everywhere, Stewart then found herself gravitating towards indie roles out of the limelight of Hollywood. She was the first American to win the coveted French César Award for her role in Clouds of Sils Maria, the equivalent to an American Oscar. As she gushed to The Hollywood Reporter, "I really couldn't believe that they gave it to me because those people rigidly dole out praise, especially to Americans." Besides her work as an actress, Stewart has also made her mark in the fashion world as well, becoming the face of Chanel perfume. Stewart's also currently working on her directorial feature debut, an adaptation of a 2011 memoir called The Chronology of Water. Much like Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson had some trouble shaking off his Twilight image, even as he set his sights on indie projects that ought to have given him some cred. David Michôd, director of 2014 Aussie dystopian drama The Rover, ended up casting Pattinson in a major role for the film, but even he admitted he didn't know what to expect.
I thought he was going to be some kind of teen heartthrob franchise guy, and he was not what I was expecting. I didn't even know that he was English.
Pattinson's next successful venture was 2017's Good Time, directed by the Safdie brothers, and that indie flick fared so well it even got some famous names gushing about it.
It's the best movie ever made. Yes, I am here to promote Good Time.
His movie that's already out?
Yeah, no, it's so good.
So did the Twilight alum manage to rid himself of his brooding vampire image? As Benny Safdie told The Guardian, he wanted people to look at him in the movie as if he had been street cast. He wanted to disappear. Unfortunately for Pattinson, some critics just can't seem to get past his early work. With news that the actor is set to star as the next Batman, some fans have made a point of displaying their disappointment, even going as far as to launch a petition against his casting. It would have made sense for Taylor Lautner to have enjoyed the same successes as his two Twilight co-stars. Lautner, who once famously committed to gaining 30 pounds of muscle to reprise his role as Jacob Black in the Twilight sequel New Moon, had teen girls everywhere wanting a piece of the buff werewolf. As it turns out, however, he didn't quite have the same luck with the next few characters he chose. His immediate follow-up role to the blockbuster franchise was 2011's Abduction, which turned out to be a total bust. After that, things in Tinseltown turned a little sour. As one producer told The Hollywood Reporter, Lautner's first movie just wasn't very good, and it didn't justify what he was asking for at the time. What Lautner did next was unthinkable. He ditched his ever-declining Hollywood Wolfpack and swam across the pond into the dry land of English comedy. Taking over for Andy Samberg in the BBC Three comedy series Cuckoo, the world finally found out that Lautner is, in fact, a pretty funny guy. After sticking around on the show from 2014 until the end of 2018, Lautner finally left the series, although admitted in a statement, "Not all goodbyes are forever." Peter Facinelli saw steady work as an actor after the Twilight saga ended. In fact, he took one role that did wonders for his career, his guest part on Fox's musical comedy show Glee. The actor revealed to Hollywood Life that the fan base was pretty similar to that of the vampire series. He said, "Now I have a connection with Glee fans. It's like a crossover for Glee and Twilight fans." Learning how to appeal to his younger fan base with Twilight and Glee, Facinelli played to type in 2015 when he found work on CW's Supergirl, but only remained on that show for a year. His next move was stepping behind the camera for 2018's Breaking and Exiting. The actor-turned-director admitted to The Hollywood Reporter that the directing experience was nerve-wracking. He explained, "When you're an actor and you go to a screening, you think, wow, I hope people like my performance. With this movie, I take responsibility for all the performances, the clothes that they're wearing. I take responsibility for the music that you're hearing and the pacing of the movie. Everything falls on me." Ever since playing vampire Esme Cullen in Twilight, Elizabeth Reeser has refused to give up all things macabre. The star appeared in 2017's Discovery Channel miniseries Manhunt Unabomber, based on the disturbing true story of convicted domestic terrorist Ted Kaczynski. Speaking to Moviefone, Reeser gushed about her love of darker projects, admitting, "While the true crime stuff I confess to being obsessed with. Any of those kinds of shows I get really sort of sucked into." Reeser also admitted she might be slightly typecast for darker roles because of of her face. She explained, "People just don't see me unless they know me. They don't see me as a funny person." Lucky for the Twilight alum, her brooding face books her plenty of gigs. In 2018, she joined Netflix's creepy hit The Haunting of Hill House, playing mortician Shirley Crane. Reeser called her character unapologetically angry in an interview with Sci-Fi. She said, "It was really fun to play. I just loved that about her." Much like Taylor Lautner, Ashley Greene headed across the pond for some UK-based fun away from Hollywood. The actress landed a lead role alongside Scott Adkins in the English action crime flick Accident Man, based on a character from a British 90s comic called Toxic. Greene then returned to America to join the cast of the YouTube web series Step Up, High Water. Her role on that show is definitely a far cry from the lovable Alice Cullen. Speaking to Access Hollywood about her character Nine, she revealed, "I get to basically just be catty and sassy. She's not evil, but I think she definitely knows what she wants and goes after it." Jackson Rathbone dabbled in a number of different ventures after playing Jasper Hale in the Twilight Saga, but he has no delusions about where all that good career fortune is rooted. Opening up to Newsweek, the actor said, "I'm very selective in the roles that I play. I get to be selective now because I have a fairly good career after Twilight. Before that, I was working as an actor, but Twilight really brought me into worldwide recognition." While some actors from the franchise have openly expressed their dislike of the Twilight movies, Rathbone has shown no hard feelings. He explained, "I'm quite partial to the original just because I think Catherine Hardwicke did an incredible job setting the franchise and the tone." Since the saga ended, Rathbone has picked up some more meaningful roles, such as starring in 2017's true story Heart Baby. The actor played Doc, a fellow prisoner to George Lee Martin, the boxer who is offered the opportunity at freedom in exchange for fighting at the 1984 Olympic Games. Like his character in Heart Baby, Rathbone himself is also a musician and debuted his solo album American Spirit Blues in 2018. After playing the most intimidating member of the Cullen clan, Emmett Cullen, Kellen Lutz landed a bunch of other burly Hollywood roles. 2013 saw him flexing his cartoon muscles in a 3D rendition of Tarzan, with the actor revealing that he enjoyed taking a part which didn't require some of the preparation needed for live-action roles.
And there's no hair and makeup, which is amazing because I've done years of that, and doing motion capture is just a blessing.
After hanging up his animated loincloth, Lutz took on another heroic character, the titular role in 2014's The Legend of Hercules. Although there's clearly a bit of typecasting going on here, the hunky star doesn't mind at all. Speaking to Reuters, Lutz explained, "If everyone saw me as an action guy and gave me action movie after action movie, I'd be fine with it. It's one of those great genres that you always have fun doing." The actor did go on to mention, however, that he'd love to have a career like Matt Damon, who's taken dramatic and comedic roles as well as action ones. Not all of the Twilight alums continued with a streak of successful Hollywood flicks. Nikki Reed, who played the alluring Rosalie Hale, found herself in a string of flops, forcing her to get crafty with her success. In the end, she found her calling recycling computer motherboards. The actress turned designer started her own sustainable lifestyle brand, Bayou with Love, which extracts precious metals such as gold from old computer equipment, recycling them into jewelry in collaboration with Dell. Reed explained to People magazine that more than $60 million worth of gold and silver gets disposed of in landfills every year, with much of it being thrown out as part of old computer motherboards. Instead of letting all that go to waste, her company retrieves it, recycles it, and makes something beautiful out of it. Besides making trash look fab, the actress has also become an ambassador for the plant-based baby food delivery service Raised Real. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Reed was inspired to work with the brand thanks to her baby daughter, Bodhi. So how does she and her actor husband Ian Somerhalder balance their busy life? Reed told Us Weekly, "We're both really passionate people, and we both have a lot going on all the time, so I think that being supportive of the other person's dreams and aspirations and passions is important, and it's something that we practice." In terms of sheer success since the end of the Twilight days, Anna Kendrick sits right up there with co-stars Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. She's done so well for herself that she once even jokingly tweeted that she forgot she was ever in the series. The bubbly star has certainly kept busy since the franchise, landing a slew of film credits, the most notable of which include the Pitch Perfect movies and Into the Woods. Both films rely heavily on music and singing, and as Kendrick once discussed in an interview with Collider, she actually has a background in music theater. She said, "I was excited about singing. One of the things I was really insistent on was that whenever I'm singing alone in the movie, I'm singing live on set." Although Kendrick took on a far more traditional role as Cinderella in Disney's Into the Woods, the star stands behind the notion that it's a feminist interpretation of the classic tale. She explained to Vulture, "What's interesting about this version is that not only does Cinderella leave her prince, but she leaves with forgiveness and respect and compassion for the prince. There is something extremely relevant and modern about the idea of civility and separation." Another notch on her hugely successful belt, Kendrick also wrote Scrappy Little Nobody, a memoir and collection of autobiographical essays about her own life. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.